and welcome to another episode of Tech for Experts and Authors. Great to have you along with me this morning. My name is Chet Davis, otherwise known as your technology tutor. Today's topic, internet speeds, your internet speeds. Now, I'm saying plural because there's more than one speed, but that's what we're going to learn about this morning. And why this is important. If you're an expert, if you're an author, if you do work from home, your home office, or maybe it's an office that's a remote, it's important to note that so many of us use today's technology tools that often rely on the internet. If you're uploading video classes to your YouTube channel, or maybe it's to your own platform or to Udemy or another provider, perhaps you're doing webinars like this one, like a live feed for folks to be able to learn from your experience, your knowledge. Maybe you're conducting an interview using Skype or another service. Maybe you're uploading audio for a book on tape or your podcast. It's important to know that the speed of your internet can have a direct impact on your productivity and also on the quality that your audience is learning. I'm delighted to spend each weekday morning with you at this time as we focus on one little aspect of technology, each program somewhere between 4 and 8 minutes to help you get a little bit more knowledge about today's technology tools. Now, as we go back to internet speed, I need to talk about the difference between the internet that's being delivered to your home or office and the internet that's kind of bouncing around inside of your building. Today, we're focusing on the internet that's coming to your home or office, not the internet that's inside your home. That's called Wi-Fi, and that's a topic we'll address in the coming weeks. But today, again, the speeds of the internet that's delivered to and from your home or office. Now, to understand this, I want to wrap your brain around this for a second. We understand the measurement, the tool that we use to measure the speed that the internet is being delivered to and from your office. And the technical term that we use is Mbps, or megabits per second. Notice the lowercase b. This is bits, not bytes, and that's a topic for another time. But bits and bytes are terribly important. Now, to put this into kind of terms that maybe more of us could understand, Chet, what is a single megabit? Well, a single megabit is the size of like a text email. If you send a text email to somebody, there's no photos, there's no video in it, no beautiful colors. It's just raw text. A single text email would measure about 1 megabit. Okay, it's just under 1 megabit, as a matter of fact. But that's the amount of data in a single text email. If it's a YouTube video, a 10-minute YouTube video is about 43 megabits. And it depends if it's high definition and what the resolution is, etc. But just for the sake of argument for learning today, let's say a 10-minute YouTube video is 43 megabits. Now, how does this relate to internet speed, Chet? Well, if you had internet speed that was 1 megabit per second and you wanted to download that 43 megabit YouTube video, 1 megabit per second would take 43 seconds to download. Get it? So 43 megabit video is going to take 43 seconds to download if you have a 1 megabit per second internet connection. Now, if you had a 50 megabit per second internet connection, it's going to take less than 1 second to download that whole video. That's why if you've gone to different places, maybe to a hotel or to a conference room or to a friend's or family member's home, and they may have a different internet speed, you may notice things that you're used to doing take longer or go way quicker than you're used to. That's because the different in internet speeds. Now, why I'm saying speeds is this right here. Take a look at this. This is a snapshot of one internet service provider's different setups, if you will, for internet. So you can see on the far left up to 25 megabits per second. Then it says up to 25 megabits per second, up to 75 megabits per second. So different packages. Now, why I'm pointing this out is that because they're only talking about one internet speed, but there is actually two internet speeds we need to be aware of. There's the download speed, which is what you commonly hear in marketing from the ISP or internet service provider. And that's important, certainly. That's the speed at which you get to download information. So if you're watching TED videos, if you're watching YouTube videos, if you're downloading news clips, or you're watching me on Facebook, the download speed is the speed at which the information comes from the internet, okay? The speed at which it comes to your computer. But what's important, if you're an author, if you're an expert, if you're a person working from your home or office, and you're interacting with your audience, what's equally important is the upload speed. The upload speed, the speed at which you're able to have content created on your computer, or that you're creating live like we are here today, like I am, and you're uploading it to the internet to share with folks. That is so important that you understand both of those speeds, okay? So things like hosting webinars, things like video conferencing, if you're engaged in two-way learning, telelearning, telemedicine, that kind of thing, it is terribly important that you understand your upload and your download speeds. So here's a shot, a document prepared by the Federal Communications Commission here in the USA that talks about the different speeds and the different kinds of activities. So again, if you're just doing text emails, if you have an internet service that's even 0.5 of a megabit per second, that's more than fine. So your neighbor who maybe he only does text emails with family members across the US. Maybe he only goes to like PGA.com and checks golf scores. He can use a very, very slow internet connection. But come down here, as you're watching high definition video, the recommendation is like 4 megabits per second. And if you're doing interactive video conferencing, Facebook Live, if you're producing webinars, if you're consulting using Skype or another service, you want to have a minimum of 4 megabits per second. So that's terribly important. So as we look here again, email and web browsing, less than 1 megabit per second is more than sufficient, more than fine. But if you're doing things like streaming HD quality videos, if you have Netflix in your home or Amazon Instant Video, that kind of thing, you want to have a higher quality, faster internet pipeline. Now, what we're talking about here is just a single user. If it's only one person, only you at home using the internet. But if you have multiple people using the internet, then you want to think about having an even faster internet speed because of the data that's being consumed, sending as well as receiving. Now, if you're producing a webcast, if you're producing a webinar, maybe doing something like Facebook Live like I am today with you, it's advantageous to tell everybody else in the household or your office. It's like, hey, I'm going live in 5 minutes. So I probably would ask my teenage son to get off the video game, right? Because at that point in time, another family member or your colleague in the office is using the internet pipeline. Now, if they're just checking text emails, again, like we talked about a few moments ago, that's not going to impact you so much. What is going to impact you is the amount of data, the amount of information that you're taking, and if they're using a heavy lifting application like interactive video gaming, if they're doing webcasting, if they're downloading a TED Talk in high definition, then you're going to impact the quality as well. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Again, what I wanted to have you walk away from today is a sense of the different speeds of internet. And let me just show you one other clip here that I think will give you a sense of. Here's a different source. And if you look at this here, there's the different speed between the internet that's coming up here. You can have what we call different packages or different tiers of internet. Now, I do pay for business class internet, which gives me a high download speed, but also a very high upload speed. That's because I do a lot of video teaching. I have some 87,000 students in my online classes. I do live webinars multiple times a month, do the internet teaching and upload videos and classes, that kind of thing. So it depends on how you're using the internet that you want to investigate a faster speed. Now, Chet, how do I know how fast my internet is? How can I possibly know that I'm getting maybe what I'm paying for? Well, I'm glad you asked, and that's going to be the topic of tomorrow's program. We're going to focus on how fast your internet is. We're going to actually go through and use a free tool that's available online that will allow you to check your internet speed, both your upload speed, your download speed, and also your latency. And we'll talk what that is in tomorrow's program. Chet Davis, your technology tutor, saying thanks so much for joining me today for this program. I look forward to spending time with you each weekday morning at 6:45 a.m. Pacific, 9:45 Eastern. If you have questions, ideas for upcoming programs, I'd be happy to share that in the notes below this video. Also tell your friends and be sure and like my page so you'll be informed of the next broadcast. Hope you have a wonderful rest of today.